Hey, this is King Firehawk from 1640 PWPR. Coming up, the Blind Tag Podcast, which is exclusive here to 1640 PWPR, the home of pro wrestling podcast radio and more.
In the podcast world, once again, you've reached the Blind Tag. My name is Big Dick Giddeon, alongside, as always, Kryim and Dante.
Hey, guys.
And we are here for show 51.
51!
I think we still have to upload the...
What?
We still have to upload the audio from our 50th show.
Well, no, I already posted it to the... I exported it to our YouTube.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because Pat was texting us over on Facebook asking, where's the show?
I can't extract the audio. He's going to have to do that himself, okay?
Okay.
Because it was live, so fucking... Sorry, Pat. I'm sorry. Okay?
Sorry.
Can't do everything. No.
So sorry.
King Firehawk to you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
He's our boss, man.
He's the boss.
Sorry,
you can't
boss.
just tell him to go fuck himself.
I didn't say that.
You
He's
did.
the boss.
You can't be saying shit like that.
He's the boss.
But we have a couple newsworthy things to get into today.
We got lots to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So, first things first, though.
Yeah, we are a little behind.
We're a little behind,
Yeah.
okay? But first things first, let's talk about a little about WrestleMania, okay?
Mm-hmm. All right, let me bring up the card.
Yeah, we'll talk
I mean,
about
we
a
are a
little
week
about-
and a half late on this.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
I apologize, We're just so overwhelmed, I guess, from the
Yeah. All right,
show.
Get onto the card.
Getting there.
There it is. Okay, so we had Kalisto defeating Ryback on the pre-show, which I actually didn't expect.
No.
Because
Yeah.
they were pushing Ryback a little bit.
I think we were all convinced Ryback was going to go over
and
on that.
I guess they decided, you know what, no one wants this fucker anymore, so they're just going to bury him. Because I haven't seen Ryback on in the past 2 weeks.
It's true. I was also on the Ryback fucking push. I understood what they were doing. I kind of figured that they would end up giving him the Goldberg push.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, he did an interview with some guy, I can't remember his name, and it was on lordsofpain.net, so but I remember seeing it that Ryback was not happy at his position on the card. He's very vocal. He says, the U.S. title deserves to be on the main event, and I agree with that, 100%. But he's like, I guess I'll just find someplace else to go. I'm like, you know what? You don't have that. You
don't got that kind of juice.
You don't have that stroke, dude.
You don't have that.
You just told Vince you don't mind leaving.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go TNA because we're gonna get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that in just a skosh. Okay. All right. But so.
Do you think maybe they also decided to take it off him? One, maybe because of his attitude about it, and two, the whole Gilbert thing.
No, absolutely. They clearly they know
it took his heat away so bad.
They know they fucked up, and they knew they wouldn't got worse. Mm-hmm. It would have got worse if he kept going and if he won. So.
Well, and at least on the benefit side, if he does go to TNA, he's already got the weight belt for where they're at. So
my God,
we'll get that. Like I said, we're gonna get that in a bit.
Anyway, so we had Team Total Divas versus Team Team Bad and Blonde. That was fucking. I didn't even watch that. I don't care.
Yeah, we didn't.
I honestly don't even care.
We were actually doing our 50th podcast at that time.
Yeah, we were.
So we didn't watch the pre-show.
The Usos defeated the Dudley Boys in a tables match. Which
was expected.
I mean, you expect that. The Dudley Boys will do the deed for the Usos. That's no problem. Zack Ryder went over in the ladder match for the IC title. Not one of us picked fucking Zack Ryder.
If I'm not mistaken, I said he was my dark horse.
It would be nice. I think we all
You did
agreed.
say that. You did say that.
I think we agreed that would be nice, but we didn't see it happening.
No.
We saw probably
Owens retaining. I thought
it was going to be Owens retaining.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we all did. But I just said I don't know. Zack Ryder was kind of like one of those things that just got thrown in there by accident.
Yeah.
And then we had Chris Jericho versus Chris Jericho Light.
Yeah, Chris Jericho beating AJ Styles.
I'm sorry, AJ Styles reminds me so much of a young Jericho.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
I mean, even in his mannerisms and the way he talks. No, that's why I said, and you know.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Jericho Light.
2.0.
Jericho 2.0. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a good guy to emulate if you want to emulate somebody. Yeah. I'm surprised Jericho went over. I was surprised.
I'm kind of not.
Strong heel.
Yeah, because here's the thing: like eventually Jericho. Because if you keep bringing him in to put over the younger guys, eventually everybody's going to know that that's what it's for. But if you keep him strong and keep him viable, because eventually they'll do a blow-off match with AJ Styles and Jericho, and AJ Styles will go over, and it's a credible threat. You want to keep Jericho as a credible threat to put over the newer guys.
Yeah, Jericho's going to go off with Fozzy eventually anyway, like he does.
Summer tours, man.
Summer tours. He's ready.
He comes back, helps the company, and then goes off for a couple months and does his thing, and then comes back.
Jericho strikes me as a really nice guy.
He's got the coolest idea. Like when he was a kid, he's like, you know what? I want to be a professional wrestler, and then every kid's like, I want to be a rock star. He's like, I'm going to use my professional wrestling to fund me being a rock star.
I mean, it's genius, really.
I mean, like he's got one fun thing that's going to fund the other fun thing.
Yeah.
The League of Nations went over on the New Day in a non-title 6-man tag match, and I don't understand why.
Considering, in fact, what happened next night on Raw. Yeah, I mean,
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But the League of Nations is a fucking yawn fest, and they're starting to...
Right
exactly.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
But we'll get to that in a minute. Brock Lesnar went over on Dean Ambrose, which was probably the most disappointing match of the night, because it was billed to be this huge street fight, and, you know...
They used a couple things?
Yeah, they used chairs, and that was it.
Okay, let me tell you.
Kendo sticks?
Yeah.
We had our friend Tony Myers here.
Yeah.
And Tony, if, you know, some of our fans, our listeners, will know who Tony Myers is if you know anything about the independent scene or wrestling in Japan. He's been everywhere.
Yeah.
He's done it all. He knows Dean Ambrose quite well.
Yes.
And let me tell you, he was so panicked about what was going to happen. He's like, Dean, just stay down. Just stay down, Dean. Just stay down.
Well, and
this is a guy who's, works the business. And he's like, no, just stay down.
Yeah, because Dean's going to go crazy. He's going to fucking kill everybody. He's going to kill himself. Hey, here's the thing. Because if you know Dean Ambrose on the independent circuit, he was known as John Moxley. And he's no stranger to hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay?
He is his gimmick. He is.
I remember seeing there's a video of him taking his Sawzall to the forehead.
Yeah.
Like, the kendo sticks, he's probably like, come on, what else you got?
Stop tickling me.
You're
tickling me.
Yeah. So,
but
that was the most disappointing. The way that they build it, I expected Dean to have a stronger showing in the match.
Yeah.
Okay? I didn't necessarily expect Dean to go over. I think I did pick him, but it's like I picked him because it was sort of like a coin flip for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're starting to fade away Brock Lesnar from the main event. So I figured if Dean goes over, or maybe it's a double down and it goes to a 10 count or some shit. Okay? But no, he just flat out lost to Brock Lesnar.
That's why I love Paul Heyman, because he's able to... They're able to shy Brock Lesnar away from the main event.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman's still saying, no, it doesn't matter what match he's on the card, that's the main event.
Yeah.
And he's able to push that. And you bought into that.
Yeah, sure. No, it was great. Charlotte defeated Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks.
Did not see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either. I expected Sasha to go over.
Wait,
but
no, correction. No, I did see that coming, exactly how it happened. I didn't see them making Becky Lynch tap out. Yeah. But I did tell you that, like, you didn't beat me at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Sasha said that. That's right. I did call Charlotte as the winner.
But it makes sense. I guess they're going to carry the feud to SummerSlam, and I guess Sasha will go over at SummerSlam. That would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, fucking get a couple good pay-per-views out of it.
Yeah, I think that was a really good match. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yes.
One of the best matches on the card.
Those girls can work, man.
Fucking look at the locker. When you're, fucking the Team Bellas and whatever. Fucking pay attention, because that's wrestling, and they fucking killed it.
Yeah, they destroyed it. Speaking of destroying themselves, The Undertaker defeated Shane McMahon.
Oh my God, Shane!
Shane, You don't need to do the things that you do.
What is he, like a year older than me or a year younger than me?
He is crazy.
And I'm 45, so it's
He's
like,
nuts.
what the fuck, man?
He's crazy. If anybody is curious, Shane McMahon jumped off the Hell in the Cell. And
30 foot up.
Now, this
At
cell
least.
was a lot higher than Mick Foley's cell, at least 10 feet.
It was.
Okay?
And I'm not taking anything with
No,
Mr. McFoley.
No, what Mick Foley did was fucking crazy too. But as I'm looking at the cell, as they do a wide shot, I'm like, that's a really big cell. Mm-hmm. That's a really tall cell. I'm like, that's a lot bigger than Mick Foley's. And then he said, I mean, I knew he was going to jump, okay?
Yeah,
everybody knew that was going to happen,
yeah.
Okay? And I'm like, but I thought it was a standard issue cell like Mick Foley did. I'm like, all right, he's going to jump. It's going to be cool. But no, it's a bigger cell. I'm like, I don't know if you want to do this, Shane, because this is poor decision, dude.
That's tall.
Like that's a really, what was it, 30 feet?
Oh, easy.
30 feet, I think.
About 30 feet. And crashed right through the fucking table. I'm like...
Now, say what you will. Yeah, there was a crash mat underneath it.
I
defy anybody to fucking take that
Look, when
jump.
he came out on Monday Night Raw with the
Nice
bruises
and
on
slow,
his
yeah.
face and the bruises to his lip and his eye, and you could see it on his neck, where his neck literally hit that table.
Yeah.
I mean, he did not walk away unscathed.
No.
It did break his fall a little bit, but, I mean, even ask anybody who's jumped off a burning building into one of those fucking...
big parachute balloon things, yeah.
It does hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, anybody who says, oh, well, there was a crash mat underneath it. I'm not that brave.
No.
I don't have the balls that he does.
No, he climbed up there.
I mean, Chris, pay me. And we'll
okay,
talk. But,
like, you ain't doing it for no indie crowd.
I'm not doing it for an indie crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going up 30 feet in the air and dropping an elbow on a table that's maybe fucking 5 feet wide.
Don't miss.
Don't miss.
Don't you fucking miss.
That's the thing. You had to have bullseye fucking, aim there.
And you saw Shane up there just fucking... He had a...
All day.
He had to psych himself.
Yeah, psych himself up.
He was psyching himself up for about a minute.
Yeah.
Like a solid 60 seconds looking at this thing like, am I really going to fucking do this right now?
He did the same thing when he jumped off the Titantron, too. You saw that moment of hesitation
like,
going, what the fuck am I
I'm up here
doing?
now.
Yeah, well,
Can't
I'm
get
here
down.
now.
I can't exactly climb down
No.
or I'll get booed the shit out of this arena.
Yeah.
So, 1, 2, 3, here we go. Yeah.
But the Undertaker did go over, but it was a very good match.
Yep.
Went over
I
well.
enjoyed it.
And it made Undertaker still strong. So
True. I will say that I don't like the way. Yeah, our mentor Strangler actually looked at it, and he does not like Shane McMahon. You know, because he's the guy who doesn't need to be in there, right? And he's going toe to toe with the Undertaker. And what did he say? Brock Lesnar didn't have as much offense on the Undertaker as Shane McMahon did.
see, I disagree with that. I disagree with that 100%. Brock Lesnar nailed 3 F5s on this motherfucker. What do you mean? That's his finisher. Brock Lesnar nailed 3 of his finishers on the Undertaker. To put him at, like, how does he not have enough offense?
Well,
he nailed 3 finishers.
I think he's looking at it like Shane McMahon is not a wrestler.
Okay.
He's looking at it from a worker's point.
He's the owner's son.
Yep.
You know, he's a referee.
Kind of like
He's
how
a
Vince never
interviewer.
had to put himself in the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a guy who and he hasn't wrestled in fucking 8-9 years, something like that.
7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just... look, I do respect the hell out of him. He doesn't have to be in there, but he's out there doing it, and honestly, he's working just as hard as the guys, you know, when he's in a match, he works just as hard as the other guys on the fucking roster. I mean, he's jumping off of fucking 30-foot cells. How many boys in the back would probably do that? Think about that for a second.
What's the payday? Give me the payday.
Well, that's the thing. Shane's probably not getting a quote-unquote payday. He's already on payroll.
Sure, I mean, well, then again, he's also like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
There's that.
Okay,
Well, you
so...
do get your WrestleMania payday. There is a little.
Yeah, but
bit
he's the
different there.
owner's son.
Yeah, but he's the owner's son. Like,
You still get paid.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, Ryback ain't doing that shit. Okay?
Ryback's not that agile.
Okay.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but yeah.
But but that was a good match. Then we had Baron Corbin went over in the fucking Battle Royal, which is interesting. You know, Baron Corbin is now on the main roster.
That's great.
And he's a great worker in ring. He's pretty good.
He needs a mouthpiece.
But he needs a mouthpiece because he can't talk.
He's got no personality.
No.
out of that match, I would say it was nice to see Damien Sandow sighting.
Tatanka.
We had a Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
that was one of those you didn't expect to see.
Shaquille O'Neal came out and stood toe-to-toe with fucking the show.
And looked down at the show.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize... Nobody really truly realized, at least on a wrestling standpoint. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, obviously you know how big Shaquille O'Neal is, but... As a wrestling fan, I never really knew because I didn't really watch basketball.
For basketball player, he's a big guy.
Yeah, even for basketball, but he's still. I mean, like he was bigger than the Big Show.
Yeah, he's taller than the Big Show.
That's fucking big.
Okay, you're looking at
Not only was he taller, but he was like
he's
almost as big.
Wide.
Yeah,
he's not a skinny dude.
He was definitely proportioned well.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how fucking tall Shaquille O'Neal was. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's a big guy.
That's a big dude.
That's a big man.
But there was a lot of beef in that fucking Battle Royal.
Yeah, there was. Obviously, Ben Corbin went over by eliminating Kane right at the end. But it was interesting. I mean, but he does need a mouthpiece. Baron Corbin can't talk. He just can't. He's not very good at it.
Right.
But The Rock defeated Eric Rowan.
What a waste of time.
In 6 seconds, by the way.
In 6 seconds,
it was a waste of time, the whole segment.
Yeah, I don't understand why he came out. Because
It's The Rock.
He's The Rock.
It's The Rock. I mean, he sells tickets. I don't care what anybody says. He's like Hogan. Okay, you got Hogan on the card, you're going to sell tickets. You got The Rock on the card, you're going to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And then, of course, the main event, you had Roman Reigns going over on Triple H, which pretty much everybody called.
Stephanie
took a serious bump.
Her gimmick was ridiculous.
Yeah, they were trying so hard to heel Triple H out to get Roman over.
What did somebody say? Somebody online said she looked like a bad guy out of Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
She looked like a villain out of Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
It was something. It was weird.
It was weird.
Weird.
Like a lot of the entrances were
the half stripper, half should be on Conan.
Yeah, that's what. She looks like a chick from Conan.
Right.
Okay.
Let's all be honest here. The best entrance at WrestleMania was New Day.
Oh my god!
They had them coming out of the box of bootios.
Hands down.
I think everybody in the living room popped.
That was
hilarious.
Hilarious.
Was the best.
I love, but that.
Especially Corey.
As far as WrestleManias go, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't
bad.
It wasn't bad. I mean,
it was better than last year's. It was definitely better than last year's. Last year we had moments, but overall, I think this one was better.
Yeah.
I think they're getting better talent.
Well, they're getting younger, which leads us to our the following night on Raw. Okay, which is always almost always the best Raw of the fucking year
because the crowd's fucking on fire.
Wild. Okay,
and Shane limps out.
Shane limps out, gets put in charge of the fucking. This is terrible writing, but he limps out. Says goodbye to the crowd in front of Vince's father, and tears almost, right? And Vince puts him in charge of Raw anyway.
Yeah, okay, because this is what's coming back. We're getting closer to the present day, which this is going to be the third week in a row that Shane McMahon is running Raw.
Yeah.
So what was the fucking point?
Yeah.
Of having him go against the Undertaker?
Honestly, it's different if you look at it differently. And I was thinking about this. As long as the Raws are good, the crowd doesn't care.
No, you're absolutely right. It doesn't.
They don't care about the writing. They don't care. As long as they're entertained, and they are being entertained these past couple weeks, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, but the whole thing goes away like Mae Young's hand.
Yeah, unless it comes back on an anniversary show and he walks by. So I'm
Mae Young's hand, all grown up.
Yeah. So,
which by the way, I popped.
Yeah. But that Raw was great. They finally introduced Enzo and Big Cass. And
that was
he
awesome.
Had the line of the year.
He crushed it.
Okay. Enzo Amore had the line of the fucking year. He turns to they interrupt the Dudleys, and they're in there, and they're doing their spiel, and he turns to Devon, and he says, I see you looking at us, okay? I got the gift of gab and the gift of jab, and I'll put that lazy eye right back to work.
I lost it. Oh
okay.
My God. And you could see, you could see the two, Devon and Bubba were like, they're like, all right, you gotta turn
keep it
around,
together.
act like you're pissed, and you
Devon
can
was going back and forth,
Bubba's out. Like losing it in his head.
It was absolutely great.
That kid, man, he can fucking work that
mic. He can talk.
Ooh, can he talk, baby?
Jersey boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jersey.
Actually,
I'm telling you, New Jersey really puts out some awesome talent. It really does. Pay attention.
I have a funny feeling it won't be long before. I mean, like main roster, they're on the main roster now, and they're going to get they're going to be in the tag team scene for probably about a year, maybe 2. But I guarantee it won't be long before they split him up. He's the Shawn Michaels. He doesn't need Big Cass.
No, but Big Cass needs him.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing.
You never know. We'll see. You're kind of giving him less, or a year or less.
No, yeah, I would
because
they still have to feud. They still have to feud with the New Day. So you give it a year.
God.
You give it a year. Okay. You give it a year to simmer, and they just keep missing each other, right? They give it a year to simmer, and at the WrestleMania, then that's when you start it. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then they start to feud with the New Day. You give it a year.
The promos.
Oh, dear God, the promos.
Wars. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, because, he's one of the few.
And they're young enough to want to do promo wars.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'd say the best mic workers right now in the top 5. You have, you'll have John Cena. I'll have John Cena up there. Bray Wyatt. I'll have the New Day.
Yep.
Give me Enzo Amore because he's fucking great on the mic.
Give me one more. You need.
And
Dean's not bad. No, Jericho.
Yeah.
Well, Jericho's always been
because
there.
Jericho's
I was going to say
you
can't put.
I was going to put Dean on there. Dean's funny, but he's not quite as good as the others.
Jericho can go heel or face. That's why he can get you to hate him or love him.
He's so good. He's
so ridiculously good.
He's so good, man. So the Raw was great. They introduced somebody else who they brought up. Who they bring up? It was
the Vaudevillains.
No,
they're on SmackDown.
That's on SmackDown. Rumor has it they're going to be making their debut on Raw tonight.
They are.
I think their gimmick is awesome.
But yes, really they did debut somebody on.
Yeah, who was it?
Why you look it up?
All right, bam for me.
I can't remember. They did Enzo and Cass were later in the show, but they debuted. Who was it? Cruz.
Yeah,
right.
Apollo Cruz. I was just looking at it.
Yeah. Apollo Cruz. That man can work.
It's your next Tony Atlas.
That's your next superstar. I guarantee you. Because
can he talk?
Vince has.
I haven't heard him yet.
Yeah.
Vince has such a not a lust. He has such a.
No, he has a lust.
No, he has. It's not lust. That's not the word I'm going to look for. It's not. It's not lust. I'm not trying to use that word. He's got such a.
For bodybuilders.
A penchant to have an African American champion.
Yeah, he wants one so bad.
He wants a likable African American champion so fucking bad.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
Yeah. If he can talk, he needs to talk.
He doesn't need to talk because he put the belt on Lashley. Lashley could not talk.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm going to kick your butt.
I'm going to kick your butt all over this place.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Lashley's a bad motherfucker. He's a legit fucking MMA fighter, right? I mean, Lashley, but he is not intimidating when he gets on the mic.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard Apollo Crews talk. I know they haven't given him a mic yet. So I mean,
he's doing the fucking babyface cream puff thing. He smiles and shakes hands. That's what he does.
That's okay. I told because he came out and the crowd was sort of into it. Okay, and they weren't cheering too much during his match. And I'm talking to the screen and I'm like, you know what, dude? Just work. The fucking cheers will come. You got it, okay? You got this. Just fucking work.
For a guy his muscly size,
he shouldn't be able to jump like what he does.
I mean, imagine like Ryback with athleticism, okay? With athleticism
and cardio.
Yeah, cardio. I mean, like this guy can do it all.
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculous.
I hope he can talk. I really hope he can talk.
Because then he'll be the total package.
Yeah, and I guarantee he's Vince is. He's eyeing him up because Vince has been so hard up for a fucking African American champion.
Because there hasn't been one since Farouk, right?
No, since Lashley.
Oh, Lashley was the heavyweight champion?
Champion.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's see. So we'll move on real quick. We'll go into the following Raws in a minute, but we want to talk about a few. Apparently, Adam Rose and Connor of the Ascension got suspended for wellness exams, for failing their wellness exams, and it's a second violation for each of them.
Really?
For both of them.
Yeah. That's a long time.
That's
right
60 days. They're gone for 60 days. Now,
there goes the Ascension's push.
Now, here's the thing, and people on this forum actually make a point because I'm on Lords of Pain right now. The big guys don't get caught. Okay. you got Adam Rose
Randy
and Connor.
had gotten caught 3 times. It's surprising he's still there. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said 3 times and he's still there.
Yeah.
I think it is a favoritism.
No, it absolutely is. There's one set of rules for the top guys and another for the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, if John Cena got caught juicing, okay, forget it. You'd never know. It would never hit the fucking airwaves. Nope. Never.
Nope.
He's on vacation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even get vacation.
He's taking a break.
I don't even think you get that. I don't think you'd ever hear about it.
They'd probably find him under the table.
Yeah. You would never. It would. You know.
That's what that would probably happen.
Exactly.
But yeah, so they're gone for 60 days. I mean,
as they say, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we missed. The fucking League of Nations. Okay, they're starting to break up.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Barrett is essentially gone. Okay.
Well, yeah, because he was on his way out anyway.
He was on his way out anyway, so they turned on Barrett and fucking kicked him out of the League of Nations. So Barrett's essentially gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the following weeks that the rest of them break up.
Yeah, there's no point in keeping them together.
They're too many. Their egos are too big. It makes sense that each one's ego would.
Rusev is a better singles guy. Okay,
all 3 of them are better singles guys.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: they legitimately there was one picture that got released backstage. And it was them goofing around. They were doing like a Michelangelo's David, right?
Yeah.
And it was a fucking great picture because it looks like they were actually having fun with each other.
Yeah.
Whereas on camera,
it's very awkward.
They have to be their characters, and it was like you put 4 guys together that have no chemistry together.
Yeah.
I'm sure backstage they might all get along and fucking have a great time together, but in front of the camera, their characters don't mesh well.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't have any chemistry, so it was very awkward. It was like the 4 worst friends anybody could have.
We've been saying that since the moment they put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt very forced, and it didn't need to be like that.
It was so generic. Even their music's generic.
Yeah.
How do you think the boat train's going to function without one of their cabooses?
The boat train. I honestly, I've given it time, and the Social Outcasts are not going to work.
It's just like the 3MB. It's just they just don't know what to do with these guys.
They don't know what to do with them.
They're not as creative. They're not as smart and creative as the guys from New Day.
No,
where they were given a crappy gimmick and said, "What can we do with it?"
Here's the thing: you got to give them time because New Day started as quote unquote faces, and it went for fucking at least 6 to 7 months before they started doing their own fucking thing. Social Outcasts just started like right before WrestleMania, so give it time. Give it to the end of this year. If at the end of this year you don't still find them entertaining, then fucking
they have their moments.
They make it that long.
They have their moments. Okay, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying again, it still feels very forced. Whereas even when the New Day were faces, you could tell they were trying to have fun with it. Like it didn't feel forced.
There was a chemistry.
Yeah, there was genuine chemistry. With these guys, it's not like when Adam Rose gets on the fucking mic, I want to punch him in the face. Okay?
Well, here's the thing.
And maybe that's the point, I guess, but I just can't stand it.
Adam Rose is no longer there. So you have the leader, you have the guy, you have the comedian, and you have the big dumb guy.
Yeah.
So now it could really gel.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, you have the guy who...
it's easier to
Heath
put
Slater
over...
is a good loudmouth.
It's also easier to put over a team of 3 guys than 4.
True.
Yeah, true.
So now you can go with the Freebird rules with them, too.
Mm-hmm.
You have the loudmouth of Heath Slater, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the fucking comedian that is Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
And he's fucking funny.
Bo Dallas is very funny.
And then you have what's his name? Perfect. Kurt Saxon.
You said you didn't even remember his fucking name.
But here's the thing: like he's got a role now that he can actually fit in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works.
It works for him. So if I'm going to give it to the end of this year, if they don't gel by the end of this year, then I'm going to be really sad by that because the potential is there.
Like I want it. I want him to succeed. I do. It's not that I don't. I don't know. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. But what else we got? We got the
we're
following
week. We're not even going to talk about Ascension. Like, I feel bad for his partner.
Oh yeah, Connor.
Like, not only
along with Adam Rose, Connor from the Ascension as well got in trouble.
Yeah, because not only are they getting buried, Victor, the Ascension, but now Victor doesn't have a partner.
Yeah.
So now he has a tag team that no longer fucking nobody cares about.
So for 60 days, he's just going to float the roster.
That's it. He's going to be put in these mixed tag team matches. It's going to be fucking awkward. I feel really bad for him.
And
yeah, you kind of know how that feels right now, in a way.
Boom, 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 boom. Cesaro came back, which was great. Okay, in a fatal 4-way match. Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, Roman Reigns is still getting booed out of the fucking stadium.
Can't get him over.
We'll get to that in a minute, though. Let's go back to Cesaro.
Yeah, okay, Cesaro comes back for the fatal 4-way match at the end of that Raw to determine the number one contender for Roman Reigns' title. You had Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and AJ Styles. Okay, fantastic talent in the ring. Okay, now Cesaro replaced Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn, quote unquote, got hurt by Kevin Owens in the back. Okay,
yep.
So, but regardless, that's some serious talent in that fucking ring.
It showed.
Okay, and it showed because that was clearly the match of the night. It clearly deserved to be the main event. And it clearly knocked it out of the fucking park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? To get over on that type of a crowd and be that over, it was incredible. What a great match. Yeah. Everybody was on point. Every single person was on fucking point.
Anybody wants to say that Jericho can't go it? Yeah. Fucking, you watch that match. He fucking kept up.
He's doing DDP yoga now, too.
Yeah.
So.
He looks great. Okay? And you have 3 of your young talent, and I say young in terms of actually being necessarily with the business and in terms of age. AJ Styles has been in the business obviously for a very long time, but he can work. He's part of. I would consider him part of the young talent.
Age-wise, yes,
okay.
He's younger.
You got AJ Styles, you got Kevin Owens, and you got Cesaro, right? And then you got Chris Jericho, the seasoned vet, who can lead the match if you really need him to.
Yeah.
But you don't need him to because these guys can fucking work.
Yeah.
What a match. Okay, I'm sorry. That was better than almost any match on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, it's up there, yeah. I mean, that could have been a Mania match. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a Mania match. Absolutely, in my opinion. But AJ Styles goes over. AJ Styles is the number one contender right now. And he's not going to win. But that's pretty interesting.
And you know what? That's gonna get Roman booed even harder.
Yeah, he is. But they know that.
Yeah.
I think they know that now. I expect a Roman heel turn within a month or so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
he's hinting at it. I'm not a good guy.
I'm not a bad guy.
I'm not a bad guy.
I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
And the thing is, he doesn't have to join the Authority to be the bad guy. Okay? You know what he needs to do? If you want to do a full Roman heel turn, turn on Dean Ambrose.
Absolutely.
You don't have to join the Authority. Just turn on Dean Ambrose.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Have Dean come out to celebrate, and you know what?
And just,
I did this myself.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. That's all. That's it. Super mega heel turn right there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that'll fix your booing problem because now he's supposed to get booed. Okay.
And then Roman Reigns' little girl won't be so sad anymore.
Yeah, apparently fucking his little girl was really upset.
There's a meme going around with, Roman's hugging his little girl after the WrestleMania match, and there's some guy puts, it's really sad when all you people are booing Roman Reigns when his little girl is there, and what do you think this makes her think of her daddy? They're hurting the little girl's feelings, and my answer was, well, being somebody in the business, you should wisen your kid up to letting them know that it's a work. And
this shit happens.
I mean, I've been a heel manager on and off for 15 years, and let me tell you, being a female and a heel manager, I've been called every fucking name in the book, and my kids heard it all.
Yeah.
And he never got his feelings hurt that his mommy was called a bad name.
If you're a fucking heel, do you think Rowdy Roddy Piper, was complaining when he had to walk around with fucking security guards so people didn't fuck him up?
Yeah.
Rowdy Roddy Piper had that real heat, okay? Shit.
Here's the thing. It goes on what Dante's saying. You got to smarten up your kid.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
You're a fucking Samoan dynasty.
You got to let your kid
How do
know.
you not fucking smarten up your kid?
Yeah, you got to let your kid know.
And what was the other thing? When we were
$1 Million
talking
Man.
about, we were talking about the same thing with The Rock and Mick Foley's match, and Mick Foley's kid was sitting right there in front of him. It's like
The Mick Foley,
10 feet away from where his dad's getting nailed in the head with a fucking chair.
The Rock versus Mick Foley I Quit match was one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen in my life. Okay,
Handcuffed, getting fucking headshots.
In front of Mick's kids.
Mick's kids, and the kids
and
are crying.
Little.
Okay, they were crying.
Were little.
Okay, but it was rough.
They watched their dad bleed backstage and get stitched up.
Okay, so like
I think his kid was 10.
So don't come to me. Roman Reigns' daughter is crying. Okay, how'd you like to be fucking Mick Foley's kids?
Yeah,
all right.
Your dad got booed at. Fucking Mick Foley's kids had to watch his dad get beat with a chair
By their uncle.
right?
By Uncle Rock.
By
Godfather.
Godfather.
By Uncle Rock. Okay.
Yeah, he just picks. I mean, like not
And
just
brutal.
like not back shots.
No.
not these fucking
This
back
is
shots.
back in the hardcore era.
This fucking headshots,
Yeah.
fucking opening up, blood everywhere type of
He
shit.
had a crimson mask by the
Yeah,
time he got
absolutely.
in the back.
That's it. Fucking it was 17 headshots, if I remember correctly. 17.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
It was
we
like
could-
19 or 9
Don't
or
worry,
something.
Mick probably doesn't remember
crazy.
either.
It's in his book.
But Jesus Christ, like, yeah. Do you think? Rowdy Piper had to fucking walk around with security guards. He was hated so much. Okay, $1 Million Man. He didn't have to walk around with security guards, but people fucking hated him.
You want to talk about real heat? You want to talk about that real heat? Fucking Sergeant Slaughter when he was the Iraqi sympathizer. He had to go out with a fucking bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
He was getting death threats. His wife was getting fucking death threats.
Yeah.
You're getting booed.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Toughen up, kid.
This shit
Life's
is-
tough. Get a helmet.
It's real, man.
This shit is
real.
Yeah, when Sergeant Slaughter has to go out with a fucking bulletproof vest. Okay? Yeah, that was some real heat.
That was heat.
That was some nuclear fucking heat. But look, I feel for Roman because I don't feel for his kid. I guess it makes me an asshole. But I feel for Roman because again, it's not his fault.
No,
okay?
it's not.
He's a
just
hard worker.
doing what he's supposed
let me
to
just
do.
put this out there. It wasn't Roman who was complaining about
No.
him being booed. It was a stupid fan.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, leave Roman alone.
Leave him alone.
Why does everybody have to pick on Roman?
Yeah, that's exactly what it
No, poor Roman, leave
Yeah.
him be.
So I mean, you
Yeah,
toughen
it's
up your kid,
poor
and
Britney thing.
but it wasn't Roman. It was just a meme going around. But seriously, do you think fucking Rowdy's fucking family, like when he was walking out for WrestleMania, the original WrestleMania, he had to be surrounded by fucking security guards.
They did want they wanted to hurt. Well, fucking look at what you want to. Fuck it. We'll talk about we'll talk about the fucking Hall of Fame fucking induction, the Freebirds.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers didn't really have any fucking personal security. They still had to go through the fucking crowds in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
With women clawing at them.
No, that was the Von Erichs.
Oh,
I'm
that was
talking
Von
about the
Erichs.
fucking
He's
people.
talking about the Freebirds.
Freebird. Oh, they were.
It's still real down
Yeah,
there.
it was a fucking religion.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fucking, you're getting booed at. Sorry, like it's nothing.
It's still like that down south.
Yeah, really.
Still
It's still real to them.
No, as we were talking about, it's anywhere outside the city limits.
Yeah.
It's still real.
Rural areas,
Anywhere.
it's still real.
No matter where you are in the U.S.
What else we got? We got the next week, the following week, that Shane McMahon is still in control of Raw. Was still pretty good
This
too.
was last week?
This was last week.
Okay.
I don't quite remember. It's been a busy fucking
Oh,
week.
they started the
tag team tournament.
tag team tournament.
Yes.
That was tournament.
Booty, sponsored by Bootios.
Sponsored by Bootios.
Bootios! Did you see they actually brought out a Bootio?
They did, and did the fucking Lion King thing, which was hilarious. New Day's great. So they did the tournament, and right now they're in the semis with, with Enzo and Cass versus the Dudleys,
That's
and
tonight.
then that's tonight, and then what's the other match? The Vaudevillains versus the Usos, I think. No, the Usos lost to the Dudleys. I'm sorry. Shit.
Hold on.
No, I can't remember.
Just
I can't remember. Fucking shit. Fucking not being fucking. We don't know what's going on.
Hold on.
It's fucking terrible. We're terrible at what we do.
Hold
We're
on.
terrible at what we do.
Okay.
Here we go.
The Usos. Yeah, that's right. They went over in the social outcast. So it's the Usos and Vaudevillains versus, and then it's Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Dudley Boys.
Is that tonight?
That's one of those. At least one of those is going to be tonight.
We're probably going to get Dudley's and
I hope so. Yeah. Well, the Vaudevillains are supposed to
The
premiere
debut tonight, so that's probably the match you're going to get.
Is there any spoilers up for tonight yet?
No. That's right. It's coming from London.
Yeah, it's already been pre-taped.
Yeah, but I didn't see any spoilers
and
yet.
I'm not going to read any because I've been enjoying fucking Raw so much. I don't
want to know.
Okay.
I actually don't want to know.
But my prediction: Vaudevillains go over.
I would imagine so. Yeah, they're going to do But here's the thing: the Dudley Boys have been getting kind of a little bit of a push. Do you have the Dudley Boys go over on Enzo and Cass? Yes. I don't think so.
I would.
No, because Enzo and Cass just came in. This is
they're
their
hard. Yeah. If you were to take both of them as far as the fan base and the reactions of the fans, Enzo and Colin had a bigger reaction from those fans than the Vaudevillains do.
But I would.
And it's sad, but Enzo gets that fucking crowd going, and that crowd in Texas, they knew his spiel word for word.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, I know who takes the tournament.
Usos.
The Usos. Because I say Vaudevillains go over, but what you're saying is correct. So I'd say the Usos go over tonight. I'll put Enzo and Cass over on the Dudleys tonight. Dudleys interfere the next match. Sets up the 2 matches right there.
That could work.
That's what I'm thinking. So that's my prediction. So book it.
The thing is, right now, looking at all those tag teams, who's over enough to take the straps from New Day? And the answer is none of them. The answer is none of them. Even Enzo and Cass might be hot. You're not going to put the straps on them right away.
Not yet.
No.
So, which tag team is over enough to go over on the New Day? And the answer is none of them.
Well, they already started the almost going to be longest reigning tag team champions.
Yeah.
Which
is that true?
Yeah,
they're coming up on Demolition's fucking shit.
They were Demolition was eclipsed by the Hooligans unofficial name. It was actually London and Kendrick.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
The Demolition held it for over a year, I thought. It was a little over a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, list of WWE Tag Team Champions. Here we go. We're looking it up, folks. Give us a second. All right, so...
Crap.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Why don't you just type in longest...
Longest reigning.
Well, actually... It should be it. World Tag Team Champions.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so here is the... Demolition still has the total combined days.
No, that's... Okay, combined days.
Yeah.
But what was their longest reign? Like, combined days, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the longest just consecutive reign.
Right. Well, hold on for 1 second. Longest consecutive reign would be the Valiant Brothers. They held it for 370 days.
Boys had it 8 times.
Yeah, but I'm looking for number 1 with the number. So, see, the problem is that there's 2 fucking gimmicks for the tag team champions. So
yeah. Well, right now it's the world champions, right?
Right.
It's the World Tag Team Champions.
See, yeah, right here. London Kendrick held it for 331 days.
Oh, okay. Combined reigns.
Yeah, this is... Well, yeah, so number of reigns. They've held it 1 reign, 331 days, where New Day has...
It's coming up 268 plus.
M&M were second with 291 days, which was Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro.
Yeah.
So, they have a...
They're coming up.
They're coming up.
If they take it to SummerSlam, they'll have it.
Yes.
But they got to take it to SummerSlam.
Team Hell No. I missed them.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great gimmick. That's 245 days. Damn. They held it for a long time.
Well, the New Day's been champs for a long time, too.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
You forget how... Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, the reason you notice is because they're over. They're
it's
so
also
over.
Weekly. You don't take into consideration the days in between each time you see them on TV.
Yeah. So... But
anything else last week that last week's Raw worth mentioning?
What was the main event?
Oh, I did come up with a theory as to why all these injuries are happening up in the WWE right now.
Snipers.
No.
What?
Ric Flair's there.
He needs that extra energy. Yeah,
that's why they're not trying to kill anybody.
No,
right?
but he can suck a little energy for some of these guys here and there. So why do you think? Look at all the energy, especially on the Raw roster.
It always comes down.
Especially
to
on the Raw roster. Look at it.
Yeah.
It is the age.
Because he's not wrestling. He's just walking out with his girl.
So he doesn't need too much energy.
Just takes a little bit. Just takes a little bit.
Whatever you. look, if there's anybody on the WWE roster who listens to our podcast, which I think is probably nobody, but if you have
you should.
No, it's all of them.
If you have a friend who's on the roster, or if you give a shit, just tell any of them, do not, under any circumstances, shake Ric Flair's hand.
And if you...
Because when you do, he just sucks your essence right there. He's a very, very, very powerful mage.
You have to call Sting afterward.
You have to call Sting. You got to do the counter curse.
You got to do the counter curse.
Ow!
Yeah, you got the counter curse.
Okay?
Yep.
That's woo backwards.
That's woo backwards.
Okay. But other than that, I think we're clear, right? We covered everything, I think, right? I think we did.
I had a visit with somebody.
Yes, Jimmy. Yes, tell us about Jimmy.
I saw Jimmy on Thursday.
Yimmy.
I saw Jimmy Snuka on Thursday, and we had a really, really good visit. Bra's looking really well, looking healthy. And that's really all I can really say about it. But him and I, we talked a little bit about things, and I asked him if he missed working, you know, because we were kind of making fun of some people that, you know, kind of ride the coattails of others. Like, there's somebody that we all know, and we've mentioned a few times on this show. You know, he wrestled Hogan once.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And sadly, somebody that a lot of us had worked with passed away the last week, which was Balls Mahoney.
Yeah, Big Balls Mahoney, one of the ECW originals.
Yes.
Yeah. We kind of knew after Axel it was just a matter of time. And sadly, and the thing is he died the day after his birthday.
Yeah.
Balls. And he was 44. That's a year younger than me.
Young.
It is. And that makes you really think about your mortality there. You're
So
like, yeah, I'm
young.
45, and he was a year younger than me.
Here's the thing. I only met Balls once, and he, you know, everybody has the same story to tell about Balls. If you met him in the locker room, he'd give you a hug. How you doing, brother? He was just genuinely nice to be around.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like he hated his own body because he didn't take care of himself.
Yeah.
But he loved all of his brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
I don't hear like a bad story about Balls.
You don't hear anything bad about
other
it.
than the fact that like he had
demons.
He had demons, but that's the only thing negative you hear. He talked about whatever you want to talk about. He would talk basketball, baseball. He was an avid sports fan.
Yeah.
He just loved everybody, and he just, you know.
The show that we did with him that night, there weren't many. He spent a lot of time down in the locker room, you know. But there was a few matches he did go upstairs and watch, and one of them was ours, you know. And he gave us a lot of good feedback afterwards. But I'm regressing. But what happened after that is it seemed like everybody and their mother came out with their Balls stories, okay?
Yeah.
And I loved the ones that I read from all the Sharps boys because everything they said about him was true, and they did have genuine love and friendship and relations with this man. And then here comes this guy who's like, yeah, I just lost my best friend. Dude, what? Come on. So Pub Bully called him out on that. I'm going to use Pub Bully because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to ruin his gimmick name with a certain Fed that he works with that we have heat with. Okay. So I don't want to give him any troubles.
Right. So somebody come out and said, I just lost my best friend?
Yeah, I lost my best friend, Balls. And, you know, the guy that wrestled, you know, Hogan in Australia in front of so as in riding coattails. So this person came up in conversation with Jimmy. And we were talking about how sad it is that some guys just can't let go of the 90s mentality of it's still a rock and roll show and there's a broad or a rat after every show and I'm going to go to the bars and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do these drugs and this, that, and the other. And I said, you know, bro, there's just a time that you just have to walk away. And I said, do you miss it? And he goes, well, sometimes I do. Because you could tell he just physically couldn't get in the ring anymore.
Well, no, yeah.
And I said, well, you really miss meeting the fans, don't you? He goes, I really miss doing the autograph shows and everything. And hopefully soon he'll be able to go back and meet the fans again. He'll be able to do the meet and greets. But things are still where they are. Yeah.
We'll just say things are in flux.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you know, I was also ribbing, you know, a couple of guys right now. Like, I said to him about Valentine. I'm like, and he's good friends with Valentine. I'm like, Valentine should not be in the ring anymore.
No.
You know, this guy's dad. It actually says on a flyer that he's going to be doing a convention as, Valentine, this person and his dad, Greg Valentine. But I said, I bet you if him and Shiki were to have a race, Shiki would probably win. And Shiki can't run either.
Shiki.
But is it downhill? I mean, because that matters.
Gravity's important.
I still think Shiki would win.
You think so?
Because he's got the belly.
Well, so does Valentine.
No, Shiki's got more of a
Who
belly.
can tuck into a ball?
Shiki.
Yeah?
I don't know. Shiki can't bend his knees.
He doesn't have knees.
He has no knees.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just fall over.
Yeah, it's downward.
But other than that, I think we cleared everything. I think we covered everything. So we're going to head and wrap it up. And for Kryim, and for Dante, I'm Big Dick Giddeon. And we'll talk to you all next week. Promise.
Super promise.